Are you feeling any pressure to every time you're in front of these cameras deliver for the fans who expect so much greatness from you?
Fight fans, welcome back.
Nah, no pressure. Like I said before, I've been around this game for a long time. All the cameras, lights. It's another day in the office.
He's a Philadelphia fireball, packing out venues while sending opponents packing in double quick time.
What? You talking about a beast?
A whole different animal, a whole different beast.
He has a bright future, man. Right now, he's
Right hand down.
working on all cylinders. I thought he looked great.
Flamboyant ring attire mixed with phenomenal flair and the ability to finish a job. Locked and ready to face off with the best, he remains one of the sport's most electrifying and talented fighters. All that was missing was a stepladder to greatness. With promotional backing now in place and the right names buzzing around waiting to be plucked, it's time for this Philly flamethrower to start applying the heat.
He's going to get the knockout. He's going to steal the show. He's ready to take over the division.
It's Jaron Boots Ennis versus everybody. Welcome to a Motivedia presentation.
Like I said before, I'm trying to bring the old school way back. All the best fighters fight the best fighters, or the up-and-comers fight the up-and-comers. I'm with it all.
With the talent and skills there for all to see,
I like what Boots and Bozy is. Bozy or Bozy? Bozy? Yeah. I like what they got going on, man. I respect it. They remind me a lot of me and Verge, the way they train and the drills they do. It's real old school and it's real skillful.
Well, see, that's me. I'm old school. What I mean old school is chop wood, you know what I mean? A lot of tire work, you know what I mean? That's old school.
Do you see any fighters nowadays that you see some old school in their style?
James, you like David Benavidez a lot. How do you think he would have hung in your era?
None of these fighters today could hang in my era. My era is the real era. This is the pussy era. How about Canelo?
I'm gonna fight the best guys and bring the old school era back.
Coach is a teacher, man, so I love what they got going on. He got to get the right guys in the ring with him, bro. If it's not Terrence, which I don't think it's going to be, he got to get the opponent that's going to challenge him and keep that progression going.
It is absolutely ridiculous that Jaron Boots Ennis has not fought but a couple of times since he's been at this level.
Boots right now, it seems to me that he's having some issues getting fights. I don't know what that is about. I don't know what that's about, but there's plenty of guys out there that I believe that Boots could fight.
Boots desperately needs somebody to advocate for him, to get him out there, to put on events for him, to bring him home to Philadelphia.
step forward Eddie Hearn, a UK promotional powerhouse and head hype man at Matchroom.
Just talking about how happy you are as a promoter to get Jaron Ennis.
He messaged me last night, Boots, and says, we broke the internet.
Damn near broke the net last week.
Yeah, last week. Definitely almost broke the net last week. We did break the net.
Yeah.
Newest Matchroom signee, man. What are your hopes and dreams with Matchroom signing with Eddie Hearn? How big is that for you in your career?
It's very big. I'm grateful to have a partnership with Eddie.
Jaron Ennis has officially signed with Eddie Hearn at Matchroom Sports.
Is that real?
That's real.
So I've been sitting in here with these motherfuckers and they ain't even say nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, that's crazy.
It's business as usual.
All right.
And you know the power, Andy, of an announcement that no one knows anything about? It's like 10 times that of one that gets leaked.
You can make a case right now. I think he's the best promoter in combat sports.
In my mind, this was a great match of fighter and promoter because Eddie is a top promoter. He can bring attention.
Eddie Hearn's got a mouthpiece. He do all the talking for you.
Like, look, a lot of these fighters, they're not going to go out and start screaming and shouting.
Eddie? No?
Yeah, he called you arrogant.
Why you did that?
He called you arrogant.
Don't worry about me. I think you need to switch on for this guy.
Okay, you talk a lot.
That's my job.
Yeah.
You should try it.
You're talking the whole meal.
So we said we have to use your name to sell the show.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Bam, Boots, Crawford, Shakur, they need a mouthpiece. I'm probably still better than you at hooping as well, but I'm definitely
You ain't better than me in nothing.
Darts.
In talking, that's it.
Talking?
Cause you talk a good game. You ain't better than me in nothing.
Darts.
You don't gotta do too much talking because he gonna promote you. He gonna say everything.
They need the idiot, the clown. That's me.
Nah, Eddie. Nah, what?
That's off.
Thank you.
Respect.
And that's what you get. Now what are you gonna say? Luke Campbell? It is over! Ryan! And Devin Haney, you. Now who you got? Who do you got?
Jaron
Ennis. Who?
Jaron Ennis.
How about Pitbull?
You know he's good.
Having freed himself from the unwanted legal tangle of previous promotional struggles,
There's no hard feelings towards PBC. You know, they got me to where I was at.
Wow! Catches Ennis with a right hand, but Ennis takes it. Down goes Delorme again.
I got to fight on Showtime, a big platform, and things like that. I fought a couple good guys.
This major test in the form of Sergey Lipinets.
You went 6 rounds with him, I think.
In the first half of this 12-round affair, and Jaron Ennis with the left-hand drops.
Has he gotten better since you last fought him?
I think he will be a next superstar.
Everyone in boxing knows how good Boots is. He's a pound-for-pound talent. We just got to show the world, and we've got to get him active.
It's like going to work and they not give you enough hours, you know.
Facts.
I'm saying I wasn't getting enough hours. There's no hard feelings.
If he's on the other side of the street, there's guys that Boots can fight, right? And why is he not fighting? You got Keith Thurman he can fight.
Any opinion one way or the other? I got criticism for my previous comments about Ennis, right?
We seen on, I think, YouTube, he was like, he don't know who I am.
He said he never even heard of me.
They never heard of me.
Saying I don't know who he is. Sorry, bro. I just don't, you know? Well,
Need to change the plan. And
that right hand down goes Clayton.
now I do, okay? Now I do. I've watched Ennis. His explosiveness and his power looks like a real threat. I'm a power puncher. I know. When you got dynamite, you got dynamite.
Introducing Keith. One time.
This guy is heavy-handed, man. It's kind of opponent that.
It's in the explosiveness that it reminds me of myself. If he continues to dominate, something that I did coming up, something that Errol Spence did coming up.
The truth.
Stay on the path of victory, because eventually
Cream always rises to the top.
the creme of the creme rises to the top, and everybody will have to acknowledge who you are.
Facts.
Ennis was free to return home and focus on fulfilling his potential. 2 home fights in a row and a pesky mandatory returning to the opposite corner. This time, Boots is primed to provide a statement victory as he establishes his place at the top of the tree. An IBF interim opportunity brought German-based Ukrainian Karin Chukajan to Washington.
You know, I'm expecting good, clean boxing. Good luck to you both.
It's not an easy guy. He's never been stopped. He knows how to fight. He's got a difficult style.
Winning 12 tedious rounds on all 3 cards against a stunningly negative opponent.
I saw Boots expecting Karen to fight.
Chukajan utilizes his footwork to avoid Ennis momentarily.
Part of it was because he figured he couldn't stand with Ennis, and I guess, you know, he knew what he was doing. But he moves. He uses those legs. He's got wheels.
That was the only thing, because he's getting frustrated because, man, this guy's not fighting. I said, yo, you got to cut the ring off more.
Gervonta Davis, the reason another sellout crowd in this building.
I knew I could have did better. Like, it wasn't him, it was me. You know, I was just me being an earhead, for real, going in there being an earhead and not really listening, you know.
Boots, congratulations. What'd you learn tonight? This is the first time you've gone the distance.
I learned this just take my time, you know, not rush nothing, you know. I'm glad I went 12 rounds.
Ennis will seek to go one better now that the IBF have brought Hearn back for a mandatory crack at the full title.
Well, we had to take it because it was a mandatory. That's the only thing I think about it. We didn't really want the fight, you know what I mean, but we had to take it.
I know what I gotta do. You know, this time around it's gonna be way different.
Brushing aside that monotony, 6 months later, Ennis faced a come-forward foe, eager to engage.
A world-class fighter like Ennis, how am I gonna not take that chance?
Venezuelan power puncher Roy Monvilla upset Rashidi Ellis for his big chance,
From Villa.
only to be banished in 10 by Boots, who even slackened the pace, delivering a devastating slow-mo combo that delighted the meme merchants.
Right hand left by Ennis, rolls with that punch.
That looked like Roy Jones all day and all night.
It was beautiful. I just went back to just having fun, you know, and that's the main key to this boxing game, having fun, doing what you love.
But the most important thing for me was to bring him home to Philadelphia, and we made it happen. And people don't understand the history of boxing in this city. How has he never fought here? Well, now it's time for that to change.
They trying to, it's supposed to be a mandatory with Cody Crowley.
Staggered up to Koharov, who's never been down, and there's the uppercut.
We'll stick here rather than going to a break.
You know what I mean? And that's what we supposed to be fighting for. We asked to fight him before, and he turned it down. He turned, what, 300,000 down, I heard.
I hope you have the best sleep Friday night. I don't care about this IBF title.
Bro, you got emailed that belt. You didn't even win it. You're not even a champion.
Well, guess what?
What is going on with the International Boxing Federation, the IBF?
The Spence Crawford fight wasn't for the IBF? He just defended it a couple of months ago.
There's no excuse.
You've been a champion for a little over 3 months and they take the title away from you. It just doesn't smell right.
They took the belt from at 147. Do you think Bud...
Did anybody ask why?
Well, go ahead, tell me. What do you think happened?
I'm asking, did anybody ask why?
Spence wasn't strict in all that time.
Well, you know, it is what it is, you know. They pick and choose who they want to grant certain things to.
It makes you think, okay, well, why'd you do this one so quickly and the other one not so quickly, you know? So that's where the double standard comes in.
If I was him, I'd just tell him, like, I want to fight for it. Like, don't send me a belt in the mail. It just seemed like, you know, everybody cool with being email champions now. And
you got some fans that are saying, oh, he's the email champ. Like, oh, you know, Terrence Crawford shouldn't have been stripped.
I know he's disappointed that he couldn't win it from a champion.
Boots didn't win the title. He got gifted it. What's your reaction to that?
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't say that shit about Lomachenko.
See, that's the one of the people that don't know nothing about boxing. We've been trying to fight Terrence for a long time.
You know, we wanted to fight Crawford, and we wanted to fight Spence.
I know.
So we ain't let nobody take the title. The title deserved to be us.
It was just bound to happen, man. Crawford wasn't going to fight Boots. You know, he already said that it was a lose-lose situation.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I can't say yes or no.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You've done what you had to do.
Exactly.
Boots been mandatory for 2 years, man. So we had to put the petition in so to try to make these guys fight Boots.
So at the end of the day, give it up, let the man take over, and welcome to the new face of boxing.
You didn't even win it. You're not even a champion. You didn't even win it.
Talking crazy, right? He got to get in that ring. It's going to get bad for him.
Oh, he's ready. Just so you know,
After original opponent Cody Crowley failed a medical,
Great decision, Cody.
Cody Crowley has been forced to withdraw from his IBF welterweight title fight.
I kind of feel like this shit was getting close. Cody Crowley got a lot of respect for Boots.
I'll meet you in the center of the ring. All right. My team can give you that respect. I love it. Appreciate that.
He started feeling like, no, I don't really want that trouble. Not yet. He had to get his eyes checked to be able to fight before Boots. Like, I don't understand what happened.
David Avanesyan stepped in to save the homecoming show.
Jaron Ennis, a massive fight for you. Why are you so confident you will beat Jaron with such short notice?
Big jolting left hand from the Russian.
This is boxing, mate.
It's okay, why not?
Good earlier, a lovely combination, and he's followed it up, and Kelly's in trouble.
Originally it was meant to be Cody Crowley, then it changed to David Avanesian. I spoke with Eddie Hearn earlier, and he told me that
Cody Crowley can fight, but no one really has heard of him. That was the problem with the fight. Everyone knows Avanesian comes to have a fight.
Crawford got to understand that this guy's tricky and slick, and he's desperate.
Do you believe that you can take Avanesian out in spectacular fashion on Saturday night?
Most definitely, you know, but I'm not gonna go in there looking for it. I'm gonna go in there and have my fun and let the knockout come to me.
Boots, he fought in Philly. You know, obviously your hometown.
Yeah.
What do you think about that fight?
As an analyst and as a boxer, what are you looking to see from Jaron?
I'm not gonna see him whoop that ass. That's what he's supposed to do.
I mean, some people are saying that maybe Boots got touched a little bit more than people thought he would. But what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think he got touched. But I think that happened because he kind of didn't respect his opponent. He just wanted to walk him down, sit in the pocket, and just fire them shots and break his man down as he did.
Jaron Boots Ennis has stopped David Avanesian in his return to Philadelphia.
This is Najee from Cigar Talk. I hate to be this guy, but it's viral on Twitter. Terrence Crawford put out a tweet. He said, world-class fighter. He was questioning your status as a world-class fighter.
Sign the contract.
Exactly, sign the contract.
Ennis's speed, power, and technique have matured accordingly.
I think he separated himself from all the rest of the welterweights.
When I look at him from a trainer's viewpoint, the guy's the full package. His skill set. He's got fast hands.
There's a nice left to the body by Ennis.
He's a good puncher.
But at what cost?
Yes.
Easy on the eye, switching between stances.
Was everybody start with their right hand. So I trained that way. And then once he got that down pack, I turned to the other side.
And pivoting away from danger before countering on the move.
They don't want to prepare for my style. They don't want to prepare for somebody that's southpaw, orthodox, that can back you up.
Well, so far he's taking Villa's shots too.
That can box, that don't care, do a tick your heart.
Few will relish the opportunity to hang in the pocket with this stylistic nightmare who has become more fan-friendly of late.
The thing about Boots is he's staying in there.
Oh no, was that a knockdown?
Standing and trading has resulted in shipping shots and added excitement.
He didn't let himself get hit, but he had no regard for what was coming back. He was trying to have fun in there. He was trying to get him out of there. He was trying to be aggressive. And also been out of the ring for a year.
Walking through pitter-patter punches of less prodigious pugilists is one thing, but defensive responsibility must return against the elite operators.
I thought he looked great, but against Crawford, he'll have to tighten that mental up a lot, and his focus will have to be a lot better.
100%.
He walks in the front door too casually at times. You know what I mean? Like, he uses that jab, but it's a one-speed jab, very fast, very quick.
That jab is like a metronome. I mean, it's just bam, bam, the timing perfect.
You're gonna have to be a little more deceptive, so you don't walk into punches trying to be so casual.
Most recently, a rerun against German-based Ukrainian Karin Chukajan provided another unanimous points win, and a few more question marks.
His next fight is going to be a former opponent, mandatory challenger, Karin Chukazi, and I hope I got his last name right. It's a tough one. But you know, they fought before. Boots, you know, he got some flack for not having the most impressive performance against this guy.
Right.
This was one of those between a rock and a hard place. You know, it really was difficult to look good. You know, he didn't really look great against Chikadze in the first time around.
Some of the criticism was that you moved a lot in that first fight. They say that you ran in that fight.
You know, we thought he was coming to fight. He came to dance.
Catching him with that right hand.
And Ennis goes back to southpaw.
You come to fight this time, you're going to need to beat him. I'm sure you have your tactics
Of course, I'm going to fight him. You will see.
But I think he'll approach it differently this fight. He won't. I think he was a little bit younger when he fought Karen the first time. And it was his first time being on a really big card. I mean, when you fight on the undercard, Tank Davis. And he learned a lot about himself. He learned about the game.
Dropping his man in the fifth.
Chukazan right now. Takes the knee. Chukazan is down.
Boots' desperation to impress invited his own moments of vulnerability.
And still, the IBF champion of the world.
With spurts of brilliance, Jaron did enough, but success wouldn't come easy.
Jaron Ennis has a certain criticism. They say he gets hit too much.
He was taking unnecessary shots. And I'm telling everybody, you know, you're going to get hit, but you don't have to get hit.
He did get hit a few times, but he was in against a solid guy. Everybody gets hit.
Jaron Ennis is facing a firestorm of criticism. I'm just not used to seeing this kind of criticism after a win.
People just be hating, man.
I think it might be unfair to judge him off of this. I believe what he said in the post-fight press conference when he said,
Like I always say, I want to fight the best. I don't try to fight easy, bottom tier guys, you know, when you fight the best, you're going to be better.
I don't think Boots really got up for him, man. He really didn't want to fight him anyway. You see what he was doing there. And he was getting frustrated because the ball kept on grabbing and holding him.
Boots is just trying to make it exciting, trying to get him out of there. He's getting hit too much.
Even with a bad night, he still won by a wide margin. What more do y'all want to see?
it's a pair of victories that should age like fine wine, as Chukazan causes a lot of problems in years to come.
The first fight was a stinker. I actually thought that was a good fight tonight. And by the way, I also think that guy beats most 147-pounders. I think he's a good fighter.
I don't think we're giving enough credit to Kareem. That this guy would beat a lot of guys.
I do my homework, but it was not enough. Ennis is really great champ. He deserves it.
Securing a legacy fight, a huge payday, and a spot on the coveted pound-for-pound list are all within reach. However, Eddie must find suitable dance partners to waltz with his warrior and stack the CV.
Yeah, I mean, look, the plan is unification. Before he moves to 54, which is inevitable at some point, we want to unify the division. Marios Barrios, Stanionis, any of these guys.
Easier said than done for one of the most avoided men in boxing.
I'm a fan of Boots. I think he's next, but he needs to be tested. He needs to be tested with a guy like Thurman.
Tremendous talent. I love what I'm seeing thus far.
You know, I wish Sean Porter was still around. He needs to be tested with a guy like Sean Porter.
If you want to compare my career and Boots Ennis' career, you look at timing. When I came into the game and when I got to the point that I was at,
showtime!
Me and Keith got there at the same time.
Trying to hold on, Porter keeping up the attack.
Me and Adrian Bronner was trying to bounce back at the same time. Andre Bertle was still in the mix at the same time.
My thoughts on Boots, I think Boots got all the goods. I think he has all the goods.
Danny Garcia was... Timing is the only thing you can look at.
I think that Boots' era is going to come behind them. He's going to fight the Ortizes, Vergil Ortiz and like maybe Fundora. Fundora's still a young guy.
With Fundora and Tszyu tied into the same PBC ecosystem that Boots once belonged to.
Who, Boots? Boots 100% as well. Like, everyone, bro. I don't want to be this fighter that picks and chooses, man. I'll fight everyone, man. Throwback.
Finding credible combatants has been as challenging as fighting any opponent. With 147-pound threats so scarce, current outsider Conor Benn has been mentioned as a viable option.
If Jaron Ennis wants to fight 147, I'm number 2, he's number 1. We can get that on.
I
Big fight in the UK is Conor Ben. A lot of people have spoke about that. Is that a fight that you would welcome?
Like I said before, I don't care who it is. It don't matter who it is. I love to fight him.
Former PBC employee and current free agent
Amanda Stanionis
reigns as WBA champion and is open to offers.
Hopefully it might be a little bit easier to get the unifications. Stanionis.
While his strong jab and consistent body assaults spell danger,
mindset of I need it, but it is aggression behind.
Ennis may view the liver-lashing Lithuanian as a straightforward, hittable target.
With the fact that Stanionis, I don't think he's going to find a big fight. Barrios is fighting on a Netflix card. Like, I really feel like we can make those unifications.
Any one of them, any one. We had what's his name? Barrios was going. He volunteered and said he would fight us first.
Do you see Ennis as the toughest challenge out of the other 3 title holders?
I think he's the most difficult, like skill-wise.
He volunteered and said he would fight us first, and then something happened with that. Something about his girlfriend was having a baby.
Given his sizable dimensions, a weight increase to super welterweight or beyond may be required for a dare-to-be-great moment.
Robert, Oscar, was that a jab at Ennis up there? Jaron Ennis?
On the zone this Saturday, what I call the appetizer. With Boots Ennis fighting Saturday on the zone. But the best 2 fighters at 154 are these 2 guys right here.
Oscar, was that a jab at Ennis up there? Jaron Ennis? Was that a little jab at Jaron Ennis?
No jabs? What are you talking about?
It came off like
just call it the way it is, brother. That's it.
After exiting the welterweight scene with his own body under extreme pressure,
The future has arrived!
Vergil Ortiz Jr. has made himself an attractive future option by winning a world title while maintaining his undefeated status.
Ortiz and Bolachuk are just built different.
I proved everyone wrong that said that I'm washed, I can't fight at 154, I can't go the distance. All of that fueled me, you know, and I'm the best in the world right now, and I'm gonna keep showing it.
We got the superstar right here. At 154, 160 in the near future, this is the man.
I mean, I would like to see Vergil and Boots. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing that for sure.
Jaron Boots Ennis, which is a name that's kind of been linked to yours, really. Since you turned professional, it's been a name that's kind of been building alongside yours for a potential super fight.
This was looked at as the fight for like the future of 147 pounds. Pay-per-view, mega fight.
I don't think he looked that good. And that's not talking shit, that's just an observation, you know.
They're going to look at that performance and fancy their chances. Oscar De La Hoya's been tweeting, we're ready, Vergil Ortiz against Boots. I like that.
We all know Eddie has the worst record as a promoter, and his fighters aren't the cream of the crop. Boots looked like an amateur last week.
This is what I'm saying about the performance tonight. It was nothing special, so people like Ryan Garcia getting brave. They're going to get brave.
Boiling beef with Brian Norman Jr.
You ain't no big dog long as I'm here.
He's hitting them with kill shots at will, like that.
Seemed to forge a natural next step between 2 title holders as a family feud ignited by their former fighting fathers also captured the public imagination.
And my son is a world champion. He brings to the table the exact same thing that Boots brings to the table. Boots doesn't bring anything more to the table than my son brings.
They don't want no parts of Boots, man. And it's probably know what's going to happen if you do fight Boots.
Undefeated, heavy-handed, and defensively vulnerable, Norman Jr. had plenty to say about potential unification before pricing disparities temporarily ruled out the clash.
My daddy called Bozy and told him himself, yes, we accepted the fight. Bozy said, whoa, no, we ain't trying to fight right now.
Brian Norman versus your son, from what Eddie says, there was an offer of like $1.75 million or something like that.
This is a really simple situation. The first offer that was made to Brian Norman was nicely over $1 million. Brian Norman won't take 17.5 times more
than he made in his last fight.
He's saying they were supposed to get double somewhere else. What are your thoughts about all that?
Well, if you're supposed to get double somewhere else, now you're fighting on the undercard of Keyshawn Davis.
While Eddie Hearn bemoaned unrealistic financial demands, Norman Jr. turned elsewhere as fan mumblings suggested Boots was too much too soon for the 23-year-old.
Brian Norman has missed the boat, and now he's got to go and fight someone for peanuts that no one's ever heard of.
So congratulations, guys. You're too late. You f***ed it up. You're going to get 200 grand to fight on a prospect undercard. Well done. Magical.
So what that's telling you, that means you don't really want to fight.
Brian Norman, do you want this fight, or are you clout chasing, or as the others might say over here, cap?
If you get a victory, could you see an Ellis Ennis fight where we could determine who's going to be the future of the welterweight?
Rashidi, the little interaction with Jaron.
Hey, come on, don't play with me. Don't play with me.
We can go now.
Don't play with me.
What happened there?
Rashidi's right there in your face like, yo, dog, we can make it happen. So it's a little bit exciting for you, man?
Didn't I just tell you that was cat? You're not listening. You're not listening. It's cat.
No such issues for the experienced pound-for-pound king and ultimate prize, Terrence Crawford. Boots could have stolen a march by moving up to 154, establishing his position
Going on?
and waiting for Bud to join him. Instead, he has remained at 147 in a body destined for higher.
Can you talk about just the idea of moving to 54?
I about to say I felt good, but yeah, like I said, I'm getting older and I'm 27, I'll be 28 next year, so I don't know, we'll see, you know.
I'm not saying that Boots can beat Crawford, but I'm just saying there's some worry there. There's definitely some worry on the Crawford side if they don't want to face Boots.
I'm looking at the fight that makes the most sense, and that's not Boots. Canelo is going to bring way more to my legacy, way more to my bank account.
Payday, you want payday? I know that.
If we're going to scream and say, hey, Canelo, you need to fight Benavidez, everybody should be screaming the same exact thing. Crawford, you got business to handle.
If Canelo does not present, Ennis could stake a claim. Having blasted mutual opponent Avanasian away faster, possessing the eloquent exuberance of youth, Boots remains a natural foe. A sizable boxer with a sizable task to outlast the master, but Jaron's matrix moves make it manageable.
Yeah. Roy Monvia was last year? Yeah, that's when he did the move.
The eye test is passed, the world title sits on the shelf. Unifications and a clear road to undisputed must follow in order to coax the key players out of the woodwork and into the ring.
I really feel like we can make those unifications, and I don't want to leave the division before we make them, if he doesn't need to physically.
Options are now plentiful, as Hearn's desire to see Boots unify at 147 contrasts with Ennis' desire to meet public demand and mix it at 154. However,
today we got some great content on the clapback because he called on a 5v5, which is what I've been begging for.
These are the fights I propose. Vergil Ortiz versus Boots, Munguia versus Pacheco, Cepeda versus Shakur.
Cepeda's fighting for the WBC interim belt. I got the WBC championship belt. You can't keep running, you can't keep hiding behind Oscar De La Hoya.
Oscar Duarte versus Devin Haney, and the winner of Ramirez Barboza will take on Jack Catterall. Hell, let's even make it a 6-on-6 with me and you, Eddie, in the main event.
I can't lose to that. No way.
We definitely ain't,
if you don't win that fight, I'll never talk to you again.
we ain't doing it, though. We ain't.
I love the lineup, and hopefully we can deliver what would be an incredible night for fight fans.
Matchroom and Golden Boy.
Yep.
How does this not happen?
the once hopeful clash against Vergil Ortiz now takes a back seat, as Israel Madrimov instead takes his place on the huge February Saudi card.
He was offered a boatload of money to fight Vergil Ortiz, and he is choosing not to. I know we don't like to use the word.
Say the word, Mannix.
Sergio.
allow me. It's a duckaroni pizza.
I know we don't like to use the word duck, but this feels like a pretty big duck.
Leaving Boots in the media firing line and needing something big to justify the sidestep.
Here with the most talked about man in boxing.
Because it seemed like there's a lot of miscommunication, right? The majority of boxing feel that Jaron ducked Vergil Ortiz, right?
Yeah, I think it got blown a little bit out of proportion.
False information going around, fake news. I never had agreed to fight Vergil Ortiz. And people not thinking and using their brains. They just believe in whatever they see on the internet.
Spoke to His Excellency about the potential for an Ortiz against the Boots fight. Then Boots had to make a decision quite quickly. Do you want to give up your belt or do you want to move to 54? And he said, I want to unify.
I have yet to still feel that feeling of winning a world title and taking it from somebody.
Like I said, I'm going to get these straps. I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right.
Like that. I'm gonna have to take that.
It's work time, y'all.
If I was him, I'd just tell him like I want to fight for it. Like, don't send me a belt in the mail.
Bro, you got emailed that belt. You didn't even win it. You're not even a champion.
I know that's not ideal. How he wanted to win it.
That's what really got to me.
So you will see him in a unification next.
He want to unify, he want to collect the belts here. He's still comfortable at this weight class. Why keep going up chasing other motherfuckers that's leaving the weight class?
That's the goal for me. Become undisputed in 3 or 4 different weight classes. It's never been done. So I want to do that and go down history.
With Teofimo now mentioning Ennis's name and discussions taking place, it looks like sooner rather than later.
I have nothing but respect for Boots. It's a great fight. People want to see it, then we'll do it.
He wanted to stay at 147 and unify. Now you tell me, what belt does Teofimo Lopez have at welterweight? I'll wait.
How much movement is there for that Jaron and Teofimo?
Teofimo Lopez, you've seen the stuff on that. Bob Arum came out. We actually loved that fight, but he still wants to unify. So if we can't unify, he's got a decision to fight Teofimo Lopez.
And Boots is determined to unify at 147 pounds. Teofimo is ultimately not a priority. So if these unification title fights aren't available, Teofimo is a legitimate option.
Potential only sits for so long before it stagnates. So the time for crowning career moments can wait no longer.
You know, people want to criticize him. Oh, you're not fighting nobody. Nah, trust and believe. Boots is the real deal. Boots is the real deal.
Get back to work, man, and we'll see what's next for Boots Ennis.